I think every kid that grows up in a good family setting kind of takes advantage of going out to dinner, spending time with your family, eating and not realizing people and families aren't eating at all, and that don't have the ability to provide for their families and everything like that. And it's just a great passion of mine to make sure I can touch as many people and feed as many families as we can.
I've done had nights where I don't eat and my kids will.
It's just very depressing not being able to, provide food for your family.
It's heartbreaking if you think it. I would rather him eat than me by far.
It's a horrible feeling. I mean, you look at your kids and they're steady saying, what are we eating tonight? And when you don't have nothing, you be like, I don't know.
It don't feel too good to be hungry though. It don't feel good at all.
I just got macaroni and sauerkraut at home right now. There is nothing. I had 2 eggs. I had a little bit of milk left out of a gallon.
I don't have anything. That's why I'm here today.
Hello, I'm Maria Antonia, and this may sound a bit like Andy Rooney, but have you ever noticed how many different kinds and brands of barbecue sauces there are at your grocery store? There are 49. For example, mesquite, sweet, spicy, hot, original. Do you know how many different kinds of cereals there are in a typical grocery store? There are about 285 different kinds of breakfast cereals. Soups, 289. So, if you decide to have a different kind of cereal for breakfast every morning and a different kind of soup for lunch every day, it would take you more than 9 months to accomplish that. There are about 1,800 restaurants in the Kansas City area. If you decide to eat lunch out every day, it would take you about 5 years to eat at each one. So when it comes to food, we can not only decide what to eat and where to eat, but also how much to eat. You can have a regular can of food or you can supersize it. Big variety of food, lots of restaurants, lots of food. It means for most people there's a lot of security when it comes to food. For most people, the questions are, what should I eat tonight? And if I'm tired of cooking, then where should I eat? But for some people, those are not the questions. The issues are, will I have enough to eat? Will I have enough to feed my kids? It's not a matter of choices. It's an issue that involves survival.
It is very heartbreaking. I sit up nights ahead of time and try to figure out how am I going to get a meal on the kids' table.
I have some medical issues, and so I've not been able to work for the past year or so. So I've been coming up here at least once a month to get food for me and my family.
Once I got the disability check, then they just took all the food stamps.
The WIC department doesn't give you enough to last you, so that's when I come here and they help me.
By the time I actually spend my food stamps, they're gone in 1.5 visits.
They don't give out enough food stamps for me to make it through the month.
It's real hard to really keep groceries, and be able to eat like I need to.
I have at least 2 weeks with scrimping, kind of trying to make it.
Actually, I wouldn't make it. With my check only and no help from nobody else, I wouldn't make it.
I work 7 days a week, but this, with the pantry provides it, for me and my family, is, in between our food stamp issues, this comes in real handy.
I'm not a thief or anything like that. I don't believe in stealing, robbing, and all that to make my ends meet.
This place helps, It helps when the month is low and things get rough. It really helps. It makes sure, they make sure that there's food in the home.
It's horrible, it's agonizing. You go through a lot of whining all night long from your kids and staying there hungry. Waking up the next morning, they having attitudes, no cereal, no milk. It's hard. It's hard, and it's really, breathtaking for me to know that I'm at the point where now, where I do have to depend on pantries to help me.
On a tough day, like macaroni and cheese and peanut butter sandwiches, so yeah.
It's tempting to think that hunger in this country is a thing of the past, something that happened during the Depression or something that happens in another country. But there are hungry people right here, right now, and it's not just a few. Harvesters Food Bank distributes food among 500 Kansas City metro area places that help people. Now, Harvesters gets its food from a number of sources, and then places like food pantries buy the food from Harvesters. Pantries then sack up the food they get and hand it out to folks in need.
Hello. Hi.
People who come to food pantries show identification and proof of income. A computer network around town then keeps track of who goes where so that food is fairly distributed. And when people show up for food, there is no choice. The food is passed out according to what has been donated. The Bishop Sullivan Center operates 2 food pantries and funds a third in 3 of the poorest parts of Kansas City. Of all the customers Harvesters has, no one buys more food from them each month than the Bishop Sullivan Center does. There's a misconception among many that if someone's disabled or otherwise can't work, the government takes care of them through programs like food stamps and other services. But that's not always the case. Many times people still rely on food pantries, like the Bishop Sullivan Center, and the center relies on your generous donations to buy food from Harvesters. Just how many people are we talking about? Well, each month, Bishop Sullivan Center pantries help feed about 1,800 families. That's about the size of the population of Parkville. Now imagine if everyone in Parkville had to go to the Bishop Sullivan Center each month or go hungry. We are so blessed to live in a country where there's plenty of food, but with blessings come responsibilities. In the Gospel of Matthew, there's a story about 5,000 people who need food. They're not from Parkville. Jesus' disciples see these people as inconvenience. They say to Jesus, dismiss the crowd so they can go buy food. Maybe it was the disciples' way of saying, tell them to go get a job and stop looking for a handout. Jesus replies, there's no need for them to go. You give them some food yourselves. And so they do. Even though they didn't have much, it miraculously fed 5,000 people. Each month, thanks to the generosity of modern-day disciples, 5,000 people get food from the Bishop Sullivan Center.
Oh my goodness. If they did not exist, I don't know what I would do. We probably, I don't know, I see it on TV every day that the people overseas, going hungry every day when they don't have anything all month long, all year long, I'm thinking that if we didn't have places like this, that would be us.
This is pretty much the only place I come to because I know they're always going to help me.
This here is a blessing, though, for me.
I don't know what I would do if we didn't have a place like this. They're very, very, they don't turn anybody down. I've never been turned down.
For your baby to walk up to you and say, Mama, I'm hungry and I can't do nothing about it, I cry a lot, that's the only thing you can do. I don't go and steal or nothing like that. I just thank and praise God it's a place like this that we can come to, get us something to eat.
I love my kids, I love my family, and it's hard. It really is hard to try to, make sure that they get what they need, and I'm grateful for a place like this.
And kids, we could really use your help too. You can join Billy's Doubles Club for Kids, and you can get a t-shirt, an autographed membership card, a ticket to a game, and a really great breakfast with Billy. So please help us out.